Hi there guys, Sam here. You've joined me in the Golf R for a well overdue fun drive really. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, it's kind of one of the first things that I kept doing really, was just having a nice fun drive in it, you know, behind cars which don't indicate. And it's so great to get out. It's November at the moment. It's actually a really nice time of the year, just in general, whether it's to go to a drive or just to go out. You know, and the only thing is it's a bit colder, so the car takes a bit of time to get up to temperature. I've got traction control off, I've got it in my individual setting. I've changed the gauge a little bit around to show that I think it's the turbo bar, just to see what it's like, see if it reads anything. But yeah, a nice fun drive. Hopefully, I mean, I think it'll probably be a little bit busy on the roads, but we'll see. It just always puts a smile on my face when I kind of go out in it really. It's such a great car, and yeah, certainly push it. But the main kind of one of this sort of fun drive is actually to show you how good this car is kind of on the road. It's like suspension travel, it's something I've always been impressed with, and I'm going to go down a route which is slightly different to what I've done before. If you've seen some of my other drives that I've done, it's gone down this route. Because the roads are really bumpy and it's really undulating, so this is quite a good way to show that. And it's so much fun. I've actually got a full tank of fuel, so it's a bit of a heavy car. But I've actually, as I mentioned before in other videos, so nice along here, I've started filling it up with Tesco Momentum, so 99. I actually did probably my biggest fill up that I've ever done. It was just over 50 litres. The tank was quite low. It cost me £68, which is definitely the most I've ever paid. So I grimaced at that, nearly spending £70 on a tank of fuel. But I think that fuel is well worth it. It's just so much fun. It's such a nice day as well to be kind of driving around. I think I noticed the difference personally over a normal super unleaded from a Tesco's from Sainsbury's or something like that. I think it's really good. It's actually quite well priced, Tesco Momentum as well. If you have a little look around, see if you can get a good deal, you generally can. So let's go down this really bumpier route. And I'll show you what it's like. Is it clear? It is. There's a car in front, but it's not like I'm going to be going too fast anyway. There's a car coming a long way, but yeah, I think it's hard to tell if it actually gives it an extra sort of give and go. If it actually gives it a little bit more punch. I think it's basically hard to tell if a fuel makes that sort of a difference. I think it's good. You know, when I cruised up last night, I got about 42.5 miles per gallon as well, just sort of cruising, which is ridiculous. And then I filled it up, and I did give it some. It went down to about 38, but it's still really good for what this type of car is. Now this is like a really bad surface, and having a Fiesta ST, which is rock solid suspension before, it would really struggle and it would feel really uncomfortable when driving it. But this, it's actually quite nice and relaxing. This is really bumpy, you have to take my word for it if you can't tell on the camera. Yeah, I'm not going stupidly fast, but it really is. It's cargo. Just shoot off in first as well. Then you get a few little pops and cracks. The good thing is, actually going on this road, there is another road to cut down. Oh, nice and clear. quite a lot of miles, and you know, a year and a bit of owning it, which is brilliant, because even with everything open, it's still quite quiet. I do cycle a lot along here as well, so I know how steep these hills are, and you can probably tell, hopefully from the camera, that the one coming up is ridiculously steep. And I've come up here in my Fiesta before, maybe going a little bit too fast, and there's a bump right here, and I just clattered the underside of it. I will not be making that mistake again, so I go nice and slow. It's got the power, obviously it's got the power. It's got the power. So if you're looking at getting a Golf R, or if you've got a Golf R, which a lot of people on my channel are, can this kind of drive convince you that it's the right car to get? Everything is someone's personal preference, I guess, but I can tell you that as a weekend car, this is absolutely fantastic. This road is crap. I mean, look at the bumps. And am I uncomfortable? Do I feel like the car's skipping around and have lost control? No, it feels so stable and so planted, which is what some people criticise the Golf R. They think, you know, it's that too perfect car, I guess. We've got some horses ahead, so won't exactly be going fast. You know, a Focus RS, I don't know how it would handle these kind of roads. I've never driven it on these kind of roads, but I do know the firmness of the ride, having driven it before, is a lot like the Fiesta ST. The suspension is a lot like the Fiesta ST. And it will be skipping around a little bit, and you know, they look a little bit more see if it's clear. Waves to horses. Oh, there's another horses. Horses everywhere. So I won't be particularly going fast unless I fancy getting a horse kicking through my windscreen. I'll pass. Where was I? Yeah, it's everyone's personal preference of what car they get. I think this car actually represents pretty good value for money in today's market. It's not too bad at all. Nice pothole there. You know, today you could probably get something like my kind of car for probably similar to what I paid for it, actually. Maybe sort of like 23, 24 grand. I don't think Focus RS is even on a 16 plate, they're too much less. Let's take it down here because it's another nice road and path to go to. Again, I love these kind of roads because they're so close to where I live. If you're from around Bedford. I love it. And again, as I've said before, you don't need to necessarily break the speed limit to have a whole heap of fun. You know, I've seen videos in the past and people are proper chatting it along, and I love this car because it's like in the real world, you know. And in the real world, sorry, it only takes a second to completely change someone's life if you crash into the back of someone or hit a walker or something like that. So, and that's again why you go on these kind of roads, because I know they're quiet. You can have a bit of fun. You can swerve. Not that I really stomp on the brakes, to be fair. I love the brakes on this car. I think from the outside, whenever I'm looking at like a performance car, I'll go, what are the brakes like? Just looking at it. And these, they feel the arches really, really well. Well, in fact, to a point where you can't get an alloy 18 inches, literally it. They couldn't do any lower. The brake disc wouldn't fit in. I think 340mm discs at the front, and it stops and it's planted. It doesn't squeak. I've had no issues. I've had hardly any wear on it either. And for a car that weighs, you know, nearly 1.5 tons, I think it does a really good job. So yeah, is it the car for you? I think it's the car for. I think deep down it's the car for everyone. VW very much market the Golf GTI as the people's supercar. so glad I've had it. You know, if you followed me before, you know, I wasn't, probably only about 3 or 4 months ago, I thought I was going to sell it. And I'm very, very glad I've got it, and it's a great car, and I'm a big fan of the Golf now as well, to be fair. It's earned my respect. And they're great cars. Because they can do stuff like this. And that's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I love it. Love it. Right. So, to summarise this fun drive, it grips well, nice dry road, a little bit cold, a little bit slippery. Car sounds good. Sounds good for you, and that's the person who's sitting in it. Sure, from the outside, it doesn't sound bad from the outside actually, with the hops and the exhaust, but certainly nothing like a, you know, I don't know, a normally aspirated car, or maybe a different type of hot hatch. I didn't actually look at the turbo bar at all. I was too busy driving, so maybe someone in the video can see if that was useful in any way. I have to let all these cars go because there's the lovely Porsche Panamera. The gearbox is sort of, I think it has loosened up a little bit actually. I think it feels a lot better. And again, this tank of fuel is going to take me over 15,000 miles now, which is crazy, crazy. I think I'm going to end it there. But in summary, as I've said, suspension travel really, really good. Fun factor, really, really good. You can change gear properly. It's awesome. And I'd thoroughly recommend it, to be honest. And yeah, and this video is actually to do with YouTube. We've got this YouTube Premiere thing, so hopefully there's been people involved in the chats. Talking about whatever. Hopefully I'm not just sitting in a chat on my own, which could well be the case. But you know, end of the weekend now, not for me. This is Saturday morning. It's for you guys, and well, and for me. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And you know, the comments and stuff like that have been brilliant, and so much advice from people as well. I want to try and build a community a little bit around the Golf R to help people out who get this car, because a lot of people like it, a lot of people buy it, and getting help myself as well. You know, someone mentioned, AJ mentioned something about Tippex to sort out the stone chips we've got on the front from my last video. Someone gave me advice from a company called Rimtech in Milton Keynes to refurb the diamond cut alloy wheels, £78. It's really good, and just general advice. And I love that community feel, which, to be honest, I always felt was always there with my Fiesta ST, but I was never sure if it was there for the Golf R. And well, I definitely feel it is. And yeah, it's really great talking to you guys, and I'm glad you're enjoying the content, really glad. But I hope you are anyway. But give it a like if you enjoyed this fun drive. I'm going to go to Sainsbury's now. The boring part of the fun drive, so no real point of watching that. And yeah, have a good rest of your week, and please subscribe. You know, if you're watching my videos, please do. You know, I've got plenty of more content to come on the Golf R. And thanks very much for watching, but I will see you again next time. Cheers guys.